The best primers for makeup. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I've rounded up the best primers that I've ever used that have never failed me, and I know that you're going to love. We're going to talk about why they're so good for the face, what kind of finish it gives, and yeah, I can't wait, so stay tuned. Now don't forget, I do have an online publication called Confessions of a Creative, which covers several different topics such as self, entrepreneurship, style, beauty, culture, a bit of everything. I think you're going to love it because I write all the articles myself. There are two versions of subscription. One is free, which gives you access to some of the site. The other is paid, but it only costs you roughly around a coffee a month, and you get so much for it. You get access to the whole site, subscriber perks and benefits, a little room where we can actually chat. Yes, we can chat. And I answer questions that you guys ask over here, over there. So make sure you head over and show your support. I would love to see you over there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so don't forget to hit follow over there too and say hi. Now let's get started with this video. So I'm going to go through a selection of my favorite primers. These are all primers that I personally use on myself, and I do have duplicates and use them on my clients too. And I'm really excited to share this with you. So I'm going to go through each primer, why I love it, what kind of finish it gives, and some perks of the primer so that you get to hear about what's so good about it and what my opinion is and whether you should actually decide whether you should go out and get it, because sometimes it can be really difficult. There are so many primers out there and it's really hard to figure out, like, is this going to sit well? Is my makeup gonna like, is my foundation gonna like get all bitty over it? You know, like some primers get like that. So I really want to go through all this so that you can take your pick and see which one sounds like would suit your skin tone or skin type is what I meant there. So yes, let's get started. Now, first off, we're going to talk about Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is a primer you probably see me use a lot. I love this primer. It's a gel-based primer. It's got hyaluronic acid in there too, so it's very hydrating for the skin. I think what I really love about this primer is that because it is hydrating, you would kind of assume that it's going to look really dewy, like the foundation is going to look super dewy. But actually, I feel like the foundation that you use gets to shine even though you're using this primer. So even though this gives a really hydrating feel to the skin and actually does hydrate your skin, it doesn't take away the key points of the foundation that you're using. So if you're using a foundation which is mattifying, you're not going to find that all of a sudden it looks really dewy just because of the primer. So I love the fact that this kind of does what it's meant to do, but it lets your foundation do what it's got to do too. It doesn't change the finish of your foundation. This is a vegan and clean makeup brand. So for all you guys that are out there for clean makeup, which most of us are, you're going to love it. There are no nasties in this product. It's oil free, so you're not getting any kind of buildup there on your skin. Silicone free, fragrance free. Like I said, none of the nasties in there. Apart from the fact that it does feel very refreshing and cooling on your skin, which you'll feel as soon as you put this on, it is great for giving your skin like that smoothing effect. So it really does smooth your skin out and almost creates this kind of like gel-like barrier between your skin and your foundation. And it grips hold of your foundation. So it really keeps your foundation in place. And you can really feel that when you actually put your foundation on top of this. So this isn't something where you put it on and then you're like, where are the effects of the primer? Like, what is this even doing? Because it feels just like my moisturizer. You will feel an obvious difference with the finish of this before you actually put your foundation on. It does allow your foundation to kind of like glide on much easily, whether you are brushing it on or whether you are buffing it on with a sponge. Either way, I know you're going to love the finish of this when you use it with your foundation. If you have dry skin, this is honestly your best friend. This is going to be your best friend. It's absolutely amazing for dry skin. Even if you have acne prone skin or kind of oily skin, I do find this still works because it isn't like kind of hydrating that makes your skin feel really oily or anything, because obviously it is oil free too and you don't have any of the nasties in there, but it genuinely is an amazing primer that I use over and over and over again. It will literally grip your makeup. It will hold on to it for at least 12 hours. So that's my first primer that I think you guys are gonna love. Next up is my Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. Another primer you've probably seen me use quite a lot. This is a kind of like creamy fluid texture. And it's amazing because it smooths onto the skin and like blurs your imperfections. So literally in front of your eyes, you're seeing your imperfections get blurred. And it's a pretty amazing primer because it controls oil. So if you have oiliness throughout the day, it's really going to get a hold of that and keep it under bay. Keep it under bay, keep it at bay. Keep it at bay. And it's also, it gives you like an airbrush finish to your skin too, and that kind of like goes hand in hand with the blurring effect. It also minimizes the appearance of pores, so your pores don't seem as big. It kind of like really smooths over your skin. When you first apply this, you'll feel that it really kind of almost feels like it mattifies your skin, but not overly. If you have dry skin, I would think twice about this, but I do think it depends on how dry your skin is, because I've used this on people with like kind of dehydrated skin, which is not the same thing as dry skin. But even with dry skin, I feel like as long as you kind of really thoroughly moisturize your skin underneath with a rich moisturizer, you may be actually okay with this. It really depends how your dry skin kind of is looked after by your moisturizer. If it's kind of like feeling good and not as dry after you put your moisturizer on, you might be okay with this. But ultimately, this is going to give you a really, really smooth finish to your skin. This is also a clean and vegan beauty product, so that's another good one for you there. It does give you a very airbrush finish, so it's true to the name of it. It's very kind of smoothing, like I said. It does keep your makeup on all day. I do feel like this helps to control the oil pretty well. So even when I've worn my foundation all day, if I've worn it without this primer, I've sometimes seen that there's oil appearing, or like that greasy effect appearing a bit quicker than you like if I apply this underneath. So that's another good one for you. Next is my Charlotte Tilbury. I have to read this out because the name's always just so long with Charlotte Tilbury. Even Charlotte Tilbury is such a mouthful. It's like I just need a really quick, easy way to say it. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Invisible UV Flawless Poreless Primer. So this is a primer and SPF in one. So that's another reason I love this. There's not many primers out there that have SPF, and the fact that this has SPF 50 is absolutely amazing. This is a kind of creamy finish. It's very kind of, it feels very rich when you put it on. It almost feels like a very rich moisturizer, and it does kind of like leave, I would say, a shiny finish to your skin after you apply this, but I guess that's also the SPF coming through. Like, you know, it's very rare that you find an SPF that leaves a matte finish to your skin. It's usually pretty greasy, right? I wouldn't say this is greasy, but this would be absolutely amazing for people with dry skin. This is perfect for you. I would say if you have normal combination skin, even oily skin, I feel like this is going to be more of an SPF than a primer for you. So I feel like this as a primer would really work well on anyone with dehydrated or dry skin. So I love this purely because it has SPF in there. The priming side of it is good when my skin is feeling dehydrated, but ultimately I rely more on this as a primer, as a SPF, than a primer. So this has a whole load of ingredients in here which are really good for your skin too. So it does actually help to make your skin better. It's nourishing, it has hyaluronic acid in there. It's got a blend of oils and peptides in there. So everything in there to really help nourish your skin, as well as obviously give you a smooth finish for your foundation. And obviously the SPF is in there too. I will say that this primer helps to really give you, I would say, freshen your skin ready for your foundation. So it's good if you want to use it alone as well, but this is another product that I use quite a lot because of the fact that it's so hard to find a primer that has SPF in there. This is the Surat Perfectioniste, if that's how you say it, primer. This is a kind of like very fluid kind of primer. It's not, I'd say it's more fluid than kind of creamy, and it kind of like just almost just turns into water on your skin. This is very soothing for the skin. It is actually a water-based emulsion, so that's why it kind of feels like that when you put it on. It has oil-absorbing powders in here, very microfine, so you obviously can't see it. It eliminates shine and dullness, and it also helps to refine the pores, so it just kind of like blurs out the look of like large pores. It's very lightweight, again, vegan, cruelty-free, perfect for you guys if you're looking for something like that. But what I will say is when you put this on, even though it is a water-based emulsion, it's like it has those microfine powders in there to help absorb oil. So when you put it on, even though it feels like water just on your skin, it very quickly will kind of give you this really smooth finish to your skin. It doesn't feel wet. It like kind of dries to a really nice matte finish, but not overly matte. So it's still hydrating for your skin. You get a really nice smooth finish ready for your foundation. It's very lightweight. And another great thing about this is you can actually use this on top of your foundation. So once you've put your foundation on, if later in the day you want to carry this around with you because it's really lightweight anyway and it's just like a tube, you can actually get some of this on your hand and you can just pat it over your skin and it's not going to do anything. In fact, I will actually put some on now on top of my foundation to show you. There you go. I've got it on my finger here and you can just pat it on. There you go. It doesn't disturb your makeup at all. So you can just pat this on with your finger, or you could even like pat it on with a sponge if you want to. So it's pretty good at kind of like, it mattifies your makeup and it actually smooths and blurs your foundation. Like if you feel that those open pores are coming through your foundation, you can put it on a little bit later on in the day. Next is my Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. This is a great primer too. This is a very fluid finish and I just love the smell of it. I love the smell of this primer. So this kind of like primes your skin, obviously ready for foundation. So it allows you to kind of achieve a really smooth base to your skin. It's full of great ingredients, but the good thing about this is if you keep using this on a daily basis, it actually improves the quality of your skin as well. So it's kind of like a bottle of good skincare that primes your skin ready for foundation too. It does have a blurring effect as well. So it blurs any imperfections, any open pores, it refines them, just makes them look a little bit more kind of like blurred and ready for foundation application. It has silk powder in here, which helps to kind of like give you that really nice kind of smooth finish. It minimizes excess shine. It gives you like a very soft focus effect to the skin. So ready for your foundation application, as I've said. It's very lightweight as well on the skin, and like even the bottle, to be fair, this is still pretty full and it's super light, but even on your skin, it's very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy at all, doesn't feel greasy at all. This is also great for making sure that your pores don't get clogged up. So this is great if you worry about kind of like breaking out and things like that. So this really helps to look after your skin with all those special ingredients in here. It's also good for brightening your skin. It has a very kind of like a lavender kind of color to it. So it's really good for brightening your skin. Some of the good ingredients in there are really good for dry skin. So it actually helps to combat dryness in the skin too. So it's ultimately a very good primer for all skin types, I feel like, even if you have acne prone skin, oily skin, dry skin, normal combination skin. This is a great primer for all of those skin types. It really does give a really nice finish to your skin. It's very like kind of silky on your skin, so it doesn't feel greasy, doesn't feel dry, doesn't feel overly matte either. So it's a primer that I think is all-rounder, and it isn't necessarily my favorite. Like I don't think I have a favorite. The one that I probably use the most is probably the Milk Hydro Grip, because I just really like that tacky feeling on my skin before I put the foundation on, because it really makes me feel like it's really gripping hold of it. But that's a personal thing. You might want to try a different one and go for it. Ultimately, I would use all of these primers any day. Like there isn't one that I'd probably use more than the other if I had the choice. Honestly, I just, you know, when you just have one on your table and you use it all the time, it's this one. And like I said, I like the tackiness of it, but that doesn't mean it takes anything away from the other primers. Like if I was left with the other primers and I didn't have the Milk Hydro Grip, I would be more than happy, because they're such good primers. So I really do hope that that has kind of given you a good, clear understanding of what the best primers are for makeup. These are the best primers I have used. I have used a lot of primers, and I honestly have a whole drawer full of different primers. These are the ones that I would always go to. I've used all of the others, and these are the best primers based on what I've used. So I really do hope that that has helped you to figure out what primer you want to go for. Let me know which one sounded like your favorite, because I'd love to know. And if you have any suggestions yourself about primers that you would suggest, let me know in the comments box below. I'd love to know what your favorite primer is and exactly why it's your favorite. So I look forward to reading your comments on this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and sending you loads of good vibes throughout the world, wherever you are, and loads of love. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.